We should get back to doing skits again.
Yeah.
I'm just too tired to think.
Well, you could do when I walked in, they were like, I love what you do with your hair. And I'd be like, it's a perm. Really bad pun.
This is Comic Station, issue number 46.
For November 13th, 2013.
Thank you.
Yeah, see, a little teamwork. So, why don't we start off?
I have Cataclysm, Ultimate Comics SpiderMan. You know I had Cataclysm before, so following up. If you're not familiar with the Cataclysm series, they are all leading up to a fight with Galactus. This one features Cloak and Dagger, Jessica Drew, 16-year-old Spider-Woman, Captain America, Miles Morales, he's back, and Lana Bombshell.
The Cataclysm is whole leading up to the Ultimates universe kind of being destroyed.
Can't wait till they all finally.
So all the Cataclysm titles are leading up to Galactus basically destroying everything.
So it's good read, fast paced enough, and I enjoy the art, of course.
They've been really good on the art. I did skim through it a little bit, and I did enjoy that. I also liked a little bit of the dynamic between the team. So there is a little introductory part of it where they're telling each other who they a little bit about their past, but it worked out well. The first one I actually have is Umbral from Image. Right from the first page, the immediate impression that I got was a storybook fairy tale in comic book form, complete with a map. And it quickly turned from a storybook tale into a nightmare adventure, and kind of got what was going on. People get dismembered and killed, and then suddenly things are back to normal, and you're like, what actually happened? Did that actually happen? And that's kind of where it leaves off, is did that actually happen? And you're left with the impressions that, in my opinion, it kind of looked like the nightmares had come into our world. So these creatures that hide under your bed and hide in the shadows at night of kids' dreams are coming out. So it's an interesting storyline. I actually enjoyed it. I read
the art in it was cute.
Yeah.
Very nice artwork in here. And yeah, I read straight through it. I enjoyed the whole thing. So
good. Nice. So of course, I go to pick up anything Marvel, anything X-Men. I'm a big fan. So I go to pick up Marvel Knights. This is a 1 of 5. I unfortunately was very disappointed by this. I felt it was a very, very generic X-Men story, like a million that you've read before, that it just kind of opens up. You've got Rogue, Kitty, and Wolverine finding mutants that are emerging. I felt like the art style was lazy, but the only thing that made it bearable to get through it was the dialogue was very true to the characters. So definitely feel that whoever wrote this had a nice love for the characters, but there was really nothing else to keep me going. I don't think I would pick up the next issue of it.
Yeah, that's a shame, especially considering the Marvel Knights SpiderMan came off to a really good start, and especially was heavily weighed on its artwork. So it's a shame.
That's a shame. On to the next.
Next, well, there's plenty of X-Men titles, so one bad one, just shove it away.
Next one is NOIR. This one, if you're familiar with the Shadow, you'll want to pick it up because he's in this. Basically, Black Sparrow seeks help from the Shadow, and at the end, there's a run-in with Miss Fury, so if you're following Miss Fury, you'll want this so you could read the next one.
Yes, this is like a prequel
to... prelude, whatever. So, but it did feel a bit slow and drawn out.
I had a hard time getting through that one.
I didn't exactly fall asleep. I did get through it, but it was still very slow.
Well, like the genre itself, noir is kind of slow.
It is a little slow.
Yeah, a little slow, a little dry.
Maybe they took that a little too much to heart.
Maybe a little too much. Still, it's good.
Yeah. Speaking of X-Men titles and having a bad one and shoving it aside, XMen Gold from Marvel. Honestly, it starts off with a little introduction from the main X-Men editor, and it's saying how he loved X-Men, he grew up with it, and you can tell that this book is essentially just his homage to X-Men. It has a number of short stories, about half a dozen of them, and The first one, kind of a rehash of all the characters. Kitty Pryde is the main character in that story, and she literally thinks throughout the whole roster of Wolverine's so cool, he can heal and he has adamantium, and Storm is awesome, she controls the weather, and then it goes down the line, so it's a very introducing people. New reader friendly,
Good
old reader
guy.
boring.
Yeah.
And the one unifying factor of this whole book is that it's hokey. It's a little bit lame, kind of taking off the older X-Men style, a little wordplay and all. Especially, there was the second story where Banshee and Sunfire fight, and then they make up and bond over their love of Elvis. It's so sweet. So
got some good banter, but
yeah, I would still say it's probably better for the newer readers or younger readers. It just came off very. It's a homage. It's nothing really groundbreaking.
Now for something completely different. This is Wraith, and it looks like on the cover.
That cover gets you.
The cover gets you. This is from IDW, and it looks like there's Marilyn Manson inviting you for a ride in a car, circa the 1940s. And that's kind of how the book opens up. There is this scary-looking gentleman taking a little girl for a ride, telling her not to cry. I was so pleased with this book. I was immediately drawn in. There's like gore right away, which is great, but it's really dark. It's he's taking her to Christmas Land. This version of Christmas Land is about 10 times darker than Tim Burton's, version of Christmas. No offense to him, but this is really, really dark, really scary. But I was so drawn into it and I lost my sense of time and space and what was going on, and I wasn't even in the room with you guys anymore. I was so in this story. I mean, it's a little bit wordy, but it draws you in so deeply that you're there. You're in that cold, that cold, dark place, and it's kind of great for the first snow day of the year.
Yeah, it looked a little daunting, because when I looked at it, there was so much text on the page.
That's what I thought at first, too, is how am I going to even get through all this? But it drew me in so much, is that I was like, every word, I was right on it.
So definitely worth getting past that.
Yeah. Even if you're not a reader, it put you right in the scene. So I would recommend this to just about anybody.
Really cool. And before we go on to our reviews, we have our statue this week. This is, yes, the Death in the Family Joker. This is Joe's Garage, and this is all one piece. It's in the black and white titles, and I like the detail on
this.
The
detail on this is gruesome. If you can see this guy's face, he's got blood splatter on him, all of the tools in his tool belt ready for action, a little bit dirty. It's just, it caught my eye right away.
Yeah, blood splatter. It looks like the splatter actually looks decent because it's coming up. So it looks like it came from that direction.
He actually hit somebody and it sprayed back up. I love it.
Yeah, it's only on the one side of his shirt and going up his arm and stuff like that. So, and yeah, he has all of his tools of his trade. So, and of course the face is held on by sutures and rubber bands.
Yeah,
so.
the face is really gruesome. Love it.
It's really nice details. This is a small, as you can see, it's very small, it's very light. So, this would make a nice little addition on a countertop or your desk. So, alright, and next is our reviews. As usual, we have a stellar lineup of reviews coming from Lido and from Dark Horse Comics, and this goes on a whole spectrum of new and old. First off, we have Clown Fatale #1. If you can tell from the cover, that's pretty much what you get. It's 4 sexy female clowns that stumble accidentally into the world of contract killing and drug lords, and that's what they go with. The whole dynamic, everything about this comics relies on the kind of fetish factor of it, honestly, and the characters are they go down the Spice Girls list, the sexy girl, spicy girl, voluptuous girl, so forth. The characters in the story are just flounder around repackaging the old cliches, and it's really weighed down by the one note, and there's really no depth found in it. So, I mean, if you like clowns and you like half-dressed girls, then sure, it tries to combine the two.
Sexy girls in clown makeup killing people.
Oh, that's
what they're trying to sell to.
This one, that one, just comic books. Next one is Violent Cases. This is a collection from the 1987 stories by, actually, Neil Gaiman.
Favorite?
And art by David McKeon. This one you can actually kind of tell that this was an early comic book because the artwork, it keeps it black and white, really keeps it with the mood, but you can tell he was kind of growing into the artwork. The story, it's a classic Neil Gaiman. It's a story about a story being told about a story. So the young man is reminiscing about a conversation he had with the osteopath, who is himself telling a story reminiscing about his time with Al Capone. If you can tell, it's very, you get out of it what you put into it. Neil Gaiman just kind of puts the story out there and you are left to build upon it. Overall, it was neither overwhelming or underwhelming. It just kind of whelmed. And it's not memorable or forgettable. So the next one we have is another new one. These are all out today, but this is not a re-release. This is Abe Sapien number 7, and I feel bad for Lido because I think this reviewing stuff has kind of destroyed his love of Mike Mignola. He even starts out the review, and the review kind of devolves into a bit of a rant about how he used to love Mike Mignola and look forward to every comic he had, and now he doesn't quite put him up on the pedestal he used to. And I think that's kind of my fault, and I'm sorry, Lido. But bless him, Lido goes through and he does justify his opinions as he goes through the problems with Abe Sapien. And his quote is, "In the end, the whole review comes down to the matter of the story's ideas and attitudes, and that attitude comes off as a petulant more than anything else." I'm sorry, Lido. It just kind of destroyed Mike Mignola for him.
Sorry.
Yeah. And of course, I held out hope that this would redeem it, but no, it looks like, unfortunately, I have destroyed Lido's week. So, Terminator, The Burning Earth hardcover. Again, this is a collection of an earlier 1990 release, and it's following up, obviously, Terminator, and seeing Skynet so tired of losing all the time, it decides that the best course of action is just nuke everything. Nuke everybody else, all the human race, except for where Skynet is. So just start all over. And that's it. It's Terminator. It's another Terminator. Just another Terminator. And you can tell that Alex Ross, while that is probably the big selling point of this comic, he is a really good artist. Yeah. You can tell this is his early work. A little bit outside of his comfort zone. Some of the action scenes and the depictions of the battles don't quite flow, and you can tell he's not comfortable with that. So he was still growing, and you can see that as an early example. The second half of the story was probably the hinge of it, and while he found it, the perspective is fascinating and compelling, overall it didn't redeem it. Yeah, unfortunately not a very exciting review week.
Yeah, we had a lot of great issues last week. We're just being mean girls and mean guys too this week.
So, yep, and again, all these reviews are on funtowardsgamer.com. And what most of you are probably waiting for is our big contest we had. We asked people to put up their ideas of what their powers would be and why they would want them. And
I don't think anybody wanted spider powers.
No, there was not.
I'm a little bit offended.
So would that be your power? That is your power.
Yes,
but
well,
if you were to choose any powers, what would you choose?
Well, if you have your spider powers, you can web sling and you can still fly. So, get you guys. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Right.
I understand.
There you go.
What would your powers be?
Honestly, I've always been a little partial, even though maybe not the character all the time, but I've always wanted the power of Thor. Okay. Just lightning and flight.
You just wanted to be a god. Just say,
I want to be a god. That would be nice. Who wouldn't want to be a god? No, just lightning and being able to fly. That would just be awesome. Be like, you go into a teller, they don't want to give you the correct change, you zap them. Zap you. Yeah. Oh, no, I get in so much trouble. Maybe I shouldn't get that. What power would you want?
I would want power that would get me in a lot of trouble. I would want the power of shape-shifting. I've always loved Mystique.
That's a good one.
And if you can shapeshift, you can be anything. And I think, of course, as a cosplayer, I like
You
having
could
all different appearances.
You could literally become anyone.
Yes, cosplay would be so easy. No, or walking into a bank would be easy. Just about anything would be easy if I could shapeshift into anything or anyone I wanted.
Fair enough. I could still zap you, though.
That's true.
So, we have a winner. We,
Drumroll.
Random selection, we chose Dave Brewer. He chose his power of teleportation, and his entire reasoning, Nightcrawler.
We can't argue with that. Nightcrawler is awesome.
He is awesome, and don't worry, no, she did not choose, so this isn't something.
It wasn't me.
This was random, and my wife actually had more input than anybody, and she's the one that picked the random winner. And she wanted to give out a honorable mention. This was actually on the Front Towards Gamer YouTube site, and the honorable mention goes to Dr. Waistcoat for making her laugh, because his superpower would be knowing the right hat for every occasion, because having the right hat for every occasion is key.
I made sure I wore the right hat for this occasion.
Yep. You had the goggles on. I had no.
Yeah.
You were
I
missing.
mean, you have glasses, so
Yeah.
you're alright.
I always wear glasses. So, those are the winners. We have Dave Brewer and Dr. Waistcoat. We will be getting in contact with you on YouTube, and we will be giving them a email address to email us at, and we'll be sending out the rewards. The reward for the winner will be Super number 1 and 2, some posters, and a few little goodies from the girls. So, thank you very much for doing our contest. We look forward to doing more. This is a little test, and hopefully next time we'll have maybe a better arranged contest, maybe a little poll or something going forward.
Yeah, and the prize, we're just going to put Teeny in a box because she's small enough, and we're going to mail her out to you.
Yeah.
I didn't agree to that. No.
I'm pretty sure you did. It was in the contract.
No.
You should really read those
No.
contracts before you sign
Fine
them.
print. It's all about
No,
fine
you
print.
forged it. I didn't sign anything.
So if you want a teeny in the box, keep
Box
staying
in a
tuned.
box. Thank you, as always,
I have the worst
so much for
friends
watching.
ever.
See you next week.
Bye.